Welcome to week 1 of the Heal Your Money Wounds course. This unit is going to be a little bit of an overview of what's coming up, and we're going to concentrate on the past. So over the next 8 units, we're going to be looking at the past. We're not going to spend too long in the past because the past is the past, but it's helpful to get a sense of what's brought us to where we are at the moment. We're going to be looking at your beliefs. Where have those beliefs come from? Do they serve you? And how can we do something about them? We're also going to be looking at self-worth, because self-worth is a really important aspect around money. Often we're unable to receive money because we can't receive ourselves. It's almost like our value of ourselves is so low that we find it very difficult to put a sort of numeric value on ourselves and our time and our offerings, which is all to do with where money has been and where it's going, but that's a bit for the future. We're also going to be looking at what evidence there is for what's actually happening in your life. We'll be doing that by simply tracking and really looking at where you have been and where you're going. And then we're going to spend some time looking at your own capacity for receiving money, because it's a container. There's only so much. If your container is only this big, then only this amount of money can come in, and we need to step gradually into these bigger containers. We can't just go overnight from a tiny little salary to an enormous salary. We have to take the steps, and whether those steps are in our employment or in our business, we have to build ourselves up slowly, progressively. Actually, as energy is moving faster on the planet, that can actually happen much more quickly. Some people, like me, I'm a real kind of foundations person, so I've spent a lot of time putting down my foundations before suddenly everything exploded for me. Other people, it's a more gradual linear thing. That would be fairly typical of me to be like that. The other thing we're going to look at is jumping and actually taking the action in the world that supports bringing in more abundance. If your abundance is sitting in a cave meditating, then that's fine. That will be your abundance. But a lot of people want a different kind of abundance, but it's only by pushing out into the world and giving messages to the universe that this is what you want to receive, that the universe can start to line up and get behind that and go, oh, okay, he's serious, she's serious. Let's get behind that and support him or her. So action, and often those actions, if you're looking to bring in a lot of money, those actions can be really quite scary, which is why we call them jumping, because it's kind of taking this leap of faith. I've come up with this thing recently, which is action and surrender. Action, surrender. So as you take actions and then you surrender to the universe to bring you whatever it is that you want to bring. We're going to be talking about the future, and we're going to be talking about how your higher self, your guides, other things that are operating in the world that we can't necessarily see, may really support you in your growth, if that's the direction you want to take. I mean, some people like to stay with widgets and just have a 3D experience in the physical, but if you're ready to go into a more spiritual aspect with your relationship with money, then you're in exactly the right place. And we're also going to spend a lot of time talking about gratitude, because gratitude is absolutely fundamental. When we feel abundance in the here and now, actually the law of attraction is not so much the law of attraction, it's more the law of resonance. So what happens is that the energy comes, it says, oh wow, that person's grateful, I'll give them something to be grateful for. It actually, we have it spun on its head. We think that we have to wait until we get the thing. It's all this if then. If I get, I don't know, £1 million, then I'll be happy. Well, often that's not actually the case. You hear about people who win the lottery. They win that lottery money and then suddenly they've spent it all within weeks and months because it hasn't made them happy. The happiness comes from what you have right here, right now. And that's where we need gratitude. What you appreciate, appreciates. Where your focus goes, energy flows. Energy flows where focus goes. Where you see what you already have, you will get more of it. Just as where you see you have lack, you will get more lack. So it's a whole switching around. Now, in this unit, I've recorded myself doing Kirtan Kriya, which is a Kundalini yoga meditation, and I've very deliberately chosen that meditation because it's the meditation of change. It's the meditation which breaks down old patterns. So when you get into the video, you'll hear me invite you to think about somebody who exhibits qualities around money that drive you insane. And the reason I'm doing that is because that's a mirror for you. There's something in you that that person will be reflecting back to you. And then I invite you to think of somebody who you really admire their relationship with money, because that's what you're wanting to get towards. So don't give yourself a hard time. Remember, in all of this, this all takes time. It's not a quick fix. We don't change lifetimes of habits overnight. It takes 40 days to break a habit. And I really encourage you to just spend those 12 minutes a day doing the video that I've just created. Following, after a while, you can do your own thing. I'm going to post some links to some tunes that are quite nice to listen along, that they do the talking and the whispering and the silence. It's quite a nice way to do it. But track yourself and track your reactions, track what happens. You can journal around it. But if you skip a day, if you decide to do the 40 days, and you don't have to, but I promise you, if you want to make changes in your life, you have to consciously change day after day after day. After day after day after day. This was the first meditation that I did. I started it in February 2018. And I sat there and I thought, I could do 40 days. 40 days is just over a month. And I was very, very, very keen to change things in my life. I was at a stage where I would just kept doing the same thing. And guess what was happening? I was getting the same thing back again. And so when I started to meditate, I haven't actually skipped a day's meditation since then. That was the 23rd of February 2018. And I'm currently doing a 1,000-day meditation. Very quickly, it takes 40 days to break a habit. It takes 90 days to make a habit. It takes 120 days to master a habit. And it takes 1,000 days to become the habit. So I have actually meditated now for 1,000 consecutive days. That happened last November 2020. And I'm in the course of doing a 1,000-day one meditation for 1,000 days, which can be quite tedious in places. But every time it brings me back, every time it brings me back. And I did start off stopping and starting, but I'd love you to start with this meditation. If you don't already have a meditation practice, Kirtan Kriya, or if you do have a meditation practice and you want to do something really conscious to change things, then I recommend Kirtan Kriya. Okay, so the exercise for this week is we're going to have a little look into past beliefs. And I would like you to do 3 things. There are going to be 3 things. I like threes. There will be 3 things to do, and there are PDFs associated with it. So the first one is to write down all the limiting beliefs that you feel that you had as a child. There would have been things like, money doesn't grow on trees, money is the root of all evil, I don't have a bottomless purse, look after the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. Actually, that one is true. But there is that concentration on lack. Oh, we can't afford that. That's a big one. We can't afford that. But the more you say to the universe, I can't afford that, I can't afford that, that is what you will get back. What we need to say is, I would love that. Can you feel the difference? Like watch me and really feel the energy of it. I can't afford that. I can't afford that. Feel how flat that is. Where I say, I would love to have that. Can you feel? I can feel it in my heart. I would love to have that. And just leave it. Just leave it, because that's what the universe hears. That's what the money goes, oh, wow, somebody wants that. Okay? So really, I want you to write down any limiting beliefs that you have around money, particularly I can't afford it. And then I want you to burn those beliefs. And I want you to burn them over and over again if you need to. If they keep coming up, you can feel them energetically leaving your body in the flames. Do it safely, please. Make sure you either do it in a sink or you do it outside. If you're in a hot country, please be super careful outside. We don't want any bushfires starting because we're burning money beliefs. Just make sure you do it safely, but burn it and feel it leave your aura, feel it leave your energetic field. So that's the first thing. We're going to write down our money beliefs. The second thing is I'd like you to start tracking money as it comes into your life. Now, this might be in the form of a salary or a client or whatever it is, but it might be something really simple. Like it might be the supermarket bonus thing you get £10 or $10 or whatever to spend that you didn't expect to have, or you get a buy one, get one free, or you get something really reduced that's actually still deliciously tasty. Just start to turn your attention to where money is coming into your life, not where it's going out. And the third thing that I would like you to do is I'd like you to notice what you're grateful for in life. So we're going to keep that gratitude thing going all the time throughout the entire length of this. And I want that to become a practice for you. I want that to become a part of your life every single day, to recognize what you're grateful for. We're going to build that out a little bit over the coming weeks, and we'll be a bit more specific. So 3 things. Write down your limiting beliefs and burn them safely. Track money coming into your account or into your life, into your environment. And notice things that you're grateful for, that you're truly, deeply grateful for. You live in the 21st century. You're watching what you're watching on some kind of expensive electronic device, I imagine. You have clean water in your taps. You have food in your cupboards. You have heat or cool if that's what you need where you live. We are incredibly abundant. That's the starting point. Know your abundance from today and go peacefully and go kindly and go gently. Satnam.